I love history, and especially Utah history, and tonight we have a little bit of that for you. Hey, I'm Adam Meikle, and thanks for tuning in. We're in southern Utah with a big group of OHV riders from our friends at Steadman's, and we are going on a hole in the rock trail. Now, if you don't know what the hole in the rock is, we're going to tell you about it. It was back in 1879 when I think it was 250 people set out with the San Juan mission. Their goal was to leave Cedar City and settle the town of Bluff Blanding area. It was supposed to take 6 weeks. It ended up taking them 6 months, and we're going to show you why.
As far as I know, we're heading that direction. Gonna do hole in the rock today. It's gonna be awesome.
It's a lot of fun. Be smart, be safe. The number one rule is rubber on the ground and plastic in the sky. We're gonna make sure everybody gets through this. All these machines look like they're in great condition, so I'm not concerned there. Public land, so be respectful. Treat the trail like it's the iron rod. Don't leave it, don't stray from it.
Off we go.
I've been wanting to do this ride for 15 years. My first time. So got some good friends and family, and of course you guys.
It'll be cool. See where they've been and went and how they got down the cliffs.
When people hear hole in the rock, many think of the crack in the canyon rim of Glen Canyon most Lake Powell boaters have seen from the water. This crack is where pioneers in the winter of 1880 built a road and ferried their wagons and 250 people and cattle across the Colorado River. Once across the river, the pioneers discovered that their problems had only just begun. This is the trail we'll be riding today. We'll start just outside of Hall's Crossing, and our destination will be an overlook above Cottonwood Canyon, where we hope we can see hole in the rock from a distance.
We are not on the actual hole in the rock trail yet. Lake Canyon runs right here, and it washed out. After we get off this hill, we'll come to a T where we get on the original trail again. It's not part of the historical trail, but it's really fun.
Piece of cake.
Where they came up is right here. It's called the twist, and I mean it's kind of gnarly. But on this turn, you're tilted in as you turn, and then your tire drops off. It throws people for a loop, but it's a lot of fun.
Got it. We're passing an area that was really important to the pioneers of the Hole in the Rock expedition. Back in 1880, there was a natural lake called Pagarit Lake, sometimes referred to as Hermit Lake, in what is now called Lake Canyon of Lake Powell. Back then, Pagarit Lake not only provided water for pioneers and their cattle, it also gave them a way to get across Lake Canyon.
The San Juan expedition comes across that lake, and it basically saved their lives. The dam provided them a road across Lake Canyon, and then it wasn't a decade later where the same natural effects washed that dam away, and that lake was gone.
Yes, they're very tough to come and go through this in their wagons. So.
Imagine picking a route out of this?
No, it all looks the same. Like, how do you even know where to go?
Pretty well marked trail.
Yeah.
Do you think someone could come down here and follow it and do it themselves, or probably best to have a guide?
I think if you didn't have GPS, I think you would want to take a guide. You know, and just the little things that Josh has told us just now about that Lake Canyon, you wouldn't know it if you weren't here with someone that had a little bit of knowledge. So that's, to me, what makes stuff like this even more amazing. The trail is awesome and fun, but learning about the historical part of it.
From here, the trail gets even tougher, but these Steadmans are pretty OHV savvy.
And that's the thing you're going to get when you go down to Steadman's. You're going to get guys that have experience, whether it's snowmobiling, whether it's off-road, whether it's street bikes. You guys do it all.
Yep, dirt bikes, street bikes, we love it all.
All you cousins have different loves. It's fun.
Yep, it's true too.
Yep.
This front tire is going to come about 4 feet off the ground. but your other 3 tires are gonna be fine. And then as soon as that tire lands, you'll have all the traction, you'll be able to roll right up.
The trail these pioneers carved is starting to test both driver and machine. Having a spotter sure helps.
Woo, good stuff. That was awesome. And she stayed in. I'm so proud of her. She stayed in the whole time.
It's probably the best ride I've ever done in Utah. And that's saying a lot because I do a lot of riding. But as far as beauty, as far as technicality, you know, you can go on the other side of Hole in the Rock and see where they went down, and that is amazing too. But you can drive a freaking Cadillac out to that point.
Gray Mesa is this great big plateau. We're gonna climb up on top of it. However, we're not gonna go the route the wagon trains came down. If you look over here, there's a post, and you can kind of see some rough, jagged, somewhat leveled out stuff. That's where the wagons had their road. They would go up and down that.
They'd come down that?
That's amazing. Yep.
It was here that pioneers carved a road into the sandstone to continue their journey. It was tough for us just to walk up. In the midst of a winter blizzard, the 3rd child was born on the expedition here. His name was John Larson.
I think it's amazing. I couldn't imagine doing that myself. No way.
I definitely wouldn't ride in the wagon.
No.
The next obstacle we're gonna face now that we've come past the Gray Mesa Dugway, that's where the trail came down, is we call it the 4-foot drop. Just trust gravity and trust your machine don't want to roll, and take it slow and let it go. Spot. Come straight off. This is probably the scariest section. Yeah. It's pretty intense. You just different canter back and forth, right? Up and it's wild. Yeah. But it's fun.
My wife Tanya, she gets a bit scared. But honestly, the machines did great, and so did she.
If it stretches, you just close your eyes. It was so fun to hear her giggle and squeal, and yeah, sometimes that's the fun of it too.
Hyperventilating.
So yeah, it's good. A lot of fun.
Scared?
For a second.
You a little scared? Chicken?
She did good. No, she did good. She didn't even jump.
I'll bet she was whimpering in the back.
No, she didn't even make a sound. She didn't even make one sound.
It was nice to have a bunch of brands that I sell. It was fun to see how capable all these machines are. Even from a low end, I mean, we had machines that are...
CF Moto?
Yeah, it's 15 grand up to $50,000, and they all did it. So when people say, oh, I can't afford to do that because it's a rich man sport or it's getting way too expensive. No, yeah, you can still do it.
I like the Razor. I like the 4-seater we have. It's much better. Well, it's just more stable. You don't even feel, you know, the tippies and all that stuff. So the other one was pretty good. The Ranger, it was just a 2-seater, and it kind of scared me a little on the steep hill because I'm not used to a 2-seater. It's up here. It's all up here.
So this obstacle we're gonna go across now is the chute. For a side-by-side, this isn't super difficult. It's steep and it's narrow. For most of these side-by-sides, as long as you pay attention to what you're doing, it shouldn't have any problems. The Hole in the Rock Trail is a special trail to my family. We got ancestors that were part of the original expedition. When I started riding it a lot and started really seeing how hard it is, it really starts to sink in on you how amazing it is. And you got to really step back away from these machines and think about, they were in horses and wagons and on their feet. I mean, it's these rocks and these trails are just fantastic that they were able to cross them. And then if you think about the weather conditions they had and the logistics of that kind of expedition, the amount of people and livestock, and I mean, it was just massive, a massive production that just blows your mind.
Oh man, the faith that they had to have had to be the ones to go out and figure it out, you know, and they didn't have, you think of our tools we have today, and they didn't have any of that stuff. They just figured it out.
You have to be brave to do this on with a wagon and horses and.
I mean, we're probably covering what it took them a month, maybe.
Sure, yeah.
We have a lot of pioneer history, heritage, and we just, gets me emotional because to see what they did. And we're in these machines, we have clothes that are built for every type of weather. This gives us such an appreciation for them and what they did to get us here, and so that we can have the lifestyles we have is because of them. And this terrain is beautiful, but it's rugged and it's rough.
Finally, after 7 hours of rough riding, we made the overlook where we could see the hole in the rock the pioneers carved some 145 years ago. We covered about 40 miles of their trek. It's crazy to think of what they went through the entire 250 miles.
The hole in the rock is right where that crack is. So they had to bring wagons down that crack by blasting the upper stuff to fill in the lower stuff. Some of the more intense cliff, even steeper than that, is below the water line now.
It's been a great ride. I really like it. It's got some challenging pieces and some fun. The company's been real fun. It reminds me a lot of Moab. We're generally Moab people, so first time I've been in this neck of the woods.
The hole in the rock trail isn't that easy to follow, so unless you have a GPS in your machine or a good map, I'd suggest hiring an outfitter. Josh has been great to stop and show us all the different routes, and his insight of the expedition offered us a chance to try and understand what the pioneers went through.
Yeah, there's a few places where you would definitely want to at least have somebody that knows what they're doing spotting you on certain places and on the trail, along the trail. Most of it's, you can do it, it's easy enough. It's just you might get a little nervous in some places.
And plus, things happen along the trail too, and you want to have good people that you know will have your back and can help you in all situations, that have good skills too.
Yeah. Like when one of our group found a sinkhole on the way out, and a winch came in really handy.
Woo! Feel better now?
Well, I'll feel better once I take a look at the damage.
It's not bad. Well, I don't know, Russ, that was a long day. And it's 3 o'clock, we gotta turn around and go back.
We still gotta go back on the same trail. It is so awesome. Yeah. I've loved every minute of it.
We gotta get through that rough part or my wife's gonna pass out.
Well, she'll be fine.
She'll be all right.
Actually, it might be better in the dark.
Sure gives you appreciation for what these people went through, what our ancestors did.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Gosh dang.
And thanks to the guide service, I felt comfortable.
Josh has been.
Josh was great. Thanks,
Josh. Sunrise outfitting.
If you like history like I do and all of us, get down here and explore what our ancestors did. It'll give you a new appreciation for everything that they did. Amazing people. That's right, you tell them. Hey, I'm Adam Eagle, KSL Outdoors. We'll see you next weekend. Good night.